Okay, so we're gonna get right into Basketball Wives, and this episode was very dramatic, to put it that way. Um, is it me? But I do not feel like Chantel has a place on this show. Like, yes, we got into it with her and Brandy, but I am just over the complaining that she keeps on doing in each scene when it comes on to something, and then she's trying to act above it all that she doesn't understand these ladies. Then why did you sign up for this show? Because your mom was already on the show. You already know what this show entails. You know the drama that these ladies tend to bring, the petty drama, the overhyped drama of it all. And you are basically acting as if like you're brand new to reality TV, you have no idea what's going on, and we already see how your mom behaves on reality TV. You more likely have seen clips. You can't tell me you've never watched an episode of Basketball Wives for you not to know exactly what this show brings. And for you to every minute in a scene keep on complaining about how the ladies are behaving and how are they able to just get over something so easily, and it's like, oh my god, enough already. I am just sick and tired of hearing her complaining over every little thing. And honestly, maybe she will change my mind at the end of the season, but for right now I really do not want to see Chantel back on the next season of Basketball Wives, because if she's going to act like Brittany, how Brittany acted in her first season, when they acted as if like she doesn't understand why all of this is, why everybody is making a big deal over something or acting brand new to the space, that I cannot necessarily get over. Now, of course, we got into the episode where it left off from someone knocking on the door. They all thought it was Jennifer. Apparently, it was some magician. The magician came and did some tricks. And then one of the tricks were Shaunie appeared. Now, of course, we know Shaunie was going to appear at some point in the season because, you know, she cannot leave her show alone. And of course, she was also in the cast photo. So we know that she has some capacity in terms of this season. Now, she appeared for Evelyn's birthday. To me, I think that was nice because we all know they're really good friends. So it was nice to see her come to support Evelyn. And they came. She basically sat there, and of course they were then bringing her back again, Jennifer, and of course Evelyn, I'm sorry, Shaunie. You know, she has her issues with Jennifer, and she was like, yeah, I don't think she's gonna show up because, like, what's the point? But at the same time, we all know Jennifer needs a check, so of course she's gonna show her face, which I felt like that was pointless when she did arrive, because I was like, you jumped in a car because you were first traveling with Christian, and I'm assuming he left him at the hotel, but you jumped in a car to come to the house, to stand outside, to say that you're not coming inside. But you also wanted to find out from Brandy the reason why she felt like it was the best thing to actually plan the trip. And Jennifer, enough already. Like, enough already. Like, you clearly, you should have just went into the house, because it didn't seem, it just like, imagine if someone you're not agreeing with, they were having some house party and someone in the group invited you and you have no intentions of going to this house party, but you're like, let me still show up outside just to create chatter that I'm outside. It was like, again, maybe producers told her that you need to go and just have a conversation outside. That would be a scene, but I was like confused as to why is it that you felt like you need to show your face and you're not going inside the house. It made no much. It didn't make sense to me. I think it would have been a much better scene if she actually went into the house. Then some commotion happened, and she decided to leave. Then we can say, well, but the thing is, of you just saying you're not going in the house, you wanted to find out from Brandy. We all know Brandy's a messy bitch. We all know that she's basically doing all of this shit for camera time. So why are we going to the house to ask why is it she felt like it was a perfect opportunity to host a trip when it comes on to Evelyn? What are we doing here? Aren't we shooting a show? Like, I'm like, am I in a different world? Aren't we shooting a TV show? No, of course, they then, Brandy, I think, was the one who asked, said that Ty wanted to go to the wedding. For what reason, I don't know. She just met Jennifer, to my knowledge. I don't see why she has such an interest to go to this wedding. It doesn't seem like anyone had an interest to go based on the amount of persons that were there. She basically went in. She got the invite. I'm sorry. So Brandy asked for the invite. She said, sure, she can definitely come. Anybody more persons can come. Yes, bring them all in because this place is going to be very empty. Now we got to the wedding where it was in a chapel, and of course it was according to everybody. You know, Jennifer is very bougie. This doesn't seem like Jennifer's speed. This doesn't seem like the type of Jennifer they know. But then again, remember she threw actual big party in Paris, so I'm sure that was a bit more bougie than the one that she's planning to do right now. Now, of course, we only had the ladies from the cast, which were the four, which was Ming, Tai, Brandy, and Jennifer. I'm sorry, and Jackie. Brandy's dress, I did not care for it because just like the wedding, it seems like, or the marriage, it seems like a sham. It seems like a joke. Why not wear whatever you want to wear? Because clearly, the fact that we are wearing black, and black normally, most likely, persons put black with funerals. I wear whatever you want to wear at this point. Now, the aunt and I believe the nephew or whoever that person was came, and of course this is a famous aunt that's on social media that is basically trolling Evelyn. And this is where she did said something like she has information on Evelyn and Evelyn needs to go date or whatever gynecologist. Now I felt like that was low taste because for someone who is supposedly older than Evelyn and supposed to be more mature, I understand that you're trying to protect your nephew, but for you to basically say something like that, it did not feel cute. And I understand again why the ladies maybe did not necessarily attack it because then it would create this big whole drama at the wedding, which I'm sure that's not what Christian or Jennifer wants on that day. So I could somewhat see why the ladies did not necessarily check the aunts, but again, who wants no heat, no smoke from the aunts? So the smoke is not directed to me, so I'm not necessarily going to fight anyone's battle because then she may direct that smoke towards me, and yeah, you didn't come for that. Now we saw where Jennifer arrived in her Cadillac, and they did their marriage and everything. But before we even got into that, we saw Christian come and basically was somewhat checking Brandy in front of everyone. And I don't know, it was in poor taste. Like, I don't think that was a perfect opportunity. And then the fact that he trying to end it with a hug and saying that they're good. I don't think they're good. Because why would you feel like in front of everyone sitting down and you're standing, this was a moment to say something to her? Why didn't you pull her to the side before or pull her to the side afterwards? Why you thought that with the aunt who loves to smoke, why would you want to actually have this moment be the moment that you decide to have a conversation with her? It was just so unnecessary. And I kind of felt bad for Brandy because I don't think, well, Jackie somewhat tried to step in, but of course we had Ming and Tai at the back just basically sitting and observing just like an audience. So it was to me unnecessary, and I felt like the anger or the whole thing of it all, I think it was just misplaced. I think that was more supposed to be directed towards Evelyn because I think Evelyn is the one with the more vocalness when it comes on to them. So you check in Brandy for something that Evelyn is doing and saying, oh, Evelyn, why is Evelyn? I don't see why Brandy, and we all know Brandy was getting the shit handed to her from she started this trip. So for her to then come to this wedding where she may thought that she has a little break, and then she has Christian basically starting some shit with her. I felt kind of bad for her, but I was like, let me just mind my business and just watch the show because I don't know what's real or fake anymore. Now, of course, we saw Jennifer came in, they did their wedding, and of course, then afterwards they went back to the hotel and they were like, they're discussing, and then they decided to go into the room to then whatever, he sucked her toes, and I wish you well, Jennifer. I really wish you well for the fight that you're going through, for the defending that you have to be going through constantly day by day, especially with these episodes airing, and you basically have to be defending and going online. I really do hope all of this energy that you're putting into defending this person actually works out for you, because then you're going to look stupid with all of this defending that you were doing and this praises towards being in a family that now you feel accepted, I really do hope this actually works out for you and you don't necessarily look stupid in the end, because most times you tend to look stupid in the end. We then got to believe it was the dinner for first we saw Evelyn. She went with the rest of the group. They did some, which seemed fun to me. I would love to do something like that where they were like smashing stuff and then fire blazing and all of that, and that seemed to me very fun. And it was nice to see these girls with no drama really, because obviously the drama was at the wedding, where they were able to have fun for her birthday. Now, was it really her birthday that day? I really don't know, because these shows tend to film on days and celebrate things that really is not necessarily real, just like the girls who they're filming in LA, but they don't actually live in LA. At this point, I really don't know what's the point of this show. Now, we got to the dinner where the other girls arrived, and of course, I think Shaunie or Evelyn was the one asking Brandy was the dress appropriate that she wore to the wedding. Of course, she kind of got a little whatever. And then, of course, they were all talking, and then we had Jackie, being the producer that she is, said that she saw the aunts. The aunt had all of the smoke for you. The aunt said that you need to basically see a gynecologist. Now, was this the perfect time to say this at the table with the rest of the ladies with something like that? No. But again, what are we watching? Basketball Wives. So I guess this is the perfect time for her to say this at the table. And we all know a dinner scene in any reality show needs to bring the drama in order for it to be entertaining. So, of course, Evelyn felt very should I say offended, or put it that way, where the aunt said this and none of the ladies defended her. And she said something in terms of if it was her, she would have probably defended them as well. And when I was watching it, I was like 50-50. Because sometimes, yes, we saw last season when the girl was running up towards Jennifer, she defended Jennifer, but in that moment, I don't necessarily wonder if Evelyn would have defended the ladies. I think she would have been sit there just as them, stunned. But this is the same Evelyn that last season she had a PI who basically was talking about, she found out about Jackie allegedly being a prostitute back in the day, and she carried that storyline for the entire most parts of the season. And she could care less about how Jackie's family may feel, her husband may feel. She could care less. So in this moment, I was like, would you really have defended her if she said that to any of these, to any of these ladies? I really don't believe so. So it was kind of comical for her to say something like that. But yeah. Then, of course, I believe now we had Shantel and now Brandy getting into it, where I can't remember exactly what it was, but it ended where we saw where Brandy pretty much said that Shantel needs to stay in a child's place, because I think the ladies were then now attacking Brandy again about her demeanor or her behavior. And even Shaunie, who just arrived, and I'm sure she's not even staying in the said house with the same house with them, for her to be saying that Brandy seems very combative or whatever it is. So it was very comical to see something like that. But Shantel decided to chime in, and of course the two of them started to get into it again, because we know Shantel still has a target out for Brandy. And this is where we had Brandy said that a child needs to stay in a child's place. And of course, this is going to be the dig that these ladies can throw at Shantel, because her mom is literally right there. She has been on the show for the beginning of Basketball Wives LA. So it's very going to be always a dig when it comes on to Shantel. But I would love to see what the follow-up next week to that conversation is going to be like. But is Jackie going to chime in and actually defend her daughter, or is she just going to sit back and let her daughter handle it? Because Shantel loves to handle stuff her own. She doesn't want her mom to help with anything. She doesn't want her mom to chime into anything. So I would love to see if she will defend her daughter, or would she just basically sit back and let her daughter handle the situation. And can her daughter handle Brandy at this point? Who knows? Because we are yet to see what Shantel really can offer. So let's see if this back and forth with her and Brandy will actually explode into something where we're like, okay, Chantel, you seem like you can handle your own, or do you need mommy to come in and help you? But let me know, guys, in the comment section what your thoughts were on the episode. Leave a like on the video. Remember to subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.